All right, so welcome to another deep dive.
I'm excited to be here.
Today we're looking at 10 technologies reshaping tomorrow's world.
Oh, yeah, I was fascinated by this.
This excerpt is like, whoa, this future could be awesome, but kind of scary too.
Right. It makes you wonder what we're really building toward.
Exactly. It's not like small steps forward,
Eh,
but huge changes in how we do, well, everything.
Totally agree. How we live, how we work, even how we think.
Let's start with AI. But forget Siri and Alexa, we're talking brain implants.
Wow.
Imagine downloading Neuralink, like instantly. Learn a new language in seconds. Or AI that spots problems before they happen.
That is wild. Learning a new language in seconds?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means for education. Like, do we need universities anymore?
Right. What happens to jobs if everyone has instant info?
Yeah.
It's not just the tech, it's the whole ripple effect.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How does society adapt to that kind of change?
Okay, next up, quantum computing.
This is another big one.
Think of it like the ultimate supercomputer, working on totally different rules.
Exactly. Instead of bits, like a 0 or a 1, quantum computers use qubits, which can be both 0 and D1 at the same time.
Whoa, wait, so both at once? How is that even possible?
It's quantum mechanics, which is, well, it's complicated, but the point is they can do calculations at speeds regular computers can't even touch.
So like cracking codes instantly.
Could be, which kind of scary for our current cybersecurity, right? But the flip side is maybe we create codes that are unbreakable.
Double-edged sword for sure. Huge potential, but gotta be careful.
Definitely need to think through the consequences.
Okay, how about self-repairing materials? This is nanotech getting really cool.
Yeah, imagine buildings healing themselves like they're alive.
Nanobots wiping out cancer cell by cell.
Even reversing aging.
Whoa, reversing aging. Now that's something I'd sign up for. But seriously, how?
It's working at the tiniest level, atoms and molecules. Basically, we can program matter to fix itself, anything from a tiny crack to, like you said, damaged cells.
No more maintenance costs, buildings lasting forever.
Potentially. Although think of the economic shakeup, right? All those repair industries.
Huge impact for sure. Okay, on to energy. Fusion energy, the holy grail of clean energy.
This is the big one, right?
Harnessing the power of the stars. Endless energy, no waste, maybe ditch fossil fuels forever.
It would be revolutionary. It works the same way the sun does, fusing hydrogen atoms to release massive amounts of energy.
So clean, efficient, basically unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
What's the catch? Can we actually build one of these things?
Scientists have been working on it for ages, and there have been some really promising breakthroughs recently.
Really?
Yeah, so while there are still some hurdles, a lot of experts think we could have fusion power plants in a few decades.
That changes everything. A world running on clean, abundant energy. Wow. Speaking of pushing boundaries, what about space colonization?
Oh yeah, this is getting exciting.
Private companies like SpaceX, they're serious about going to Mars, colonizing it.
It's amazing to think about.
It's like science fiction, but real. But why are we so obsessed with other planets? Is it about survival or something deeper?
It's a big question.
Like that human need to explore the unknown.
It's probably a bit of both, isn't it? We have this inherent drive to explore, but there's also the reality that we need to safeguard our species, against climate change or some asteroid hitting us.
That's a lot of responsibility. We want to go to the stars, but we got to fix our own planet too, right?
Finding that balance is key. As we reach out into space, we have to do it responsibly. Sustainability is just as important out there.
Okay, on to something a little closer to home. Well, maybe. Brain-computer interfaces.
Oh, this is a fascinating area.
Controlling things with your mind. Imagine accessing the internet just by thinking, maybe even telepathy.
It's closer than you might think. We're already seeing some amazing advancements in how we can interact with technology using our brains.
That is mind-blowing. But what about privacy? If our thoughts are digital, what protects them?
That's the big question with a lot of these technologies, isn't it? We need to be very careful. As the technology advances, we need to make sure our ethics and laws keep up. Individual privacy has to be protected.
Totally agree. Progress is great, but not if we lose ourselves in the process.
That's a great point. It's not just about the tech, it's about how we use it. We need to make sure it serves humanity, not the other way around.
All right, next up, we're blending the real and digital, holographic and augmented reality.
This is where it gets really interesting. Imagine a world where you can't tell what's real and what's digital.
Imagine a concert with a holographic performer, or learning history by stepping into an AR version of ancient Rome.
It's about to change everything, from entertainment to education to how we work. Imagine virtual meetings with 3D holograms of your coworkers, or using AR to help you do your job.
The possibilities are endless. But it also makes you wonder, how will this change how we see the world? What's real anymore?
Big philosophical questions coming up for sure. But from a practical standpoint, the potential is huge. Think about how much more engaging and immersive everything can become.
Okay, let's get into some serious science.
Hmm.
Genetic engineering and CRISPR. This is straight out of science fiction.
Oh, absolutely.
Editing genes,
Yeah.
wiping out genetic diseases, living longer, maybe even enhancing ourselves beyond what's naturally possible.
It's incredible. With CRISPR, we can modify DNA incredibly precisely. Imagine the possibilities for healthcare.
Yeah, like curing cystic fibrosis or Huntington's. But are we playing God? What are the ethics of messing with the very building blocks of life?
It's a huge debate. What about the potential for inequality? If only the wealthy can afford gene editing, what does that mean for society?
Right, huge ethical implications. We've got to figure this out before it's too late.
Absolutely. Technology gives us amazing tools, but we have to use them wisely and ethically. It's on us to figure out how to make sure everyone benefits.
Okay, from the microscopic to the citywide. Smart cities driven by AI.
Oh, this is a big area of development right now.
Imagine cities where AI manages traffic flow, buildings are super efficient, we track pollution in real time, everything's sustainable.
The idea is to create a more livable, more efficient urban environment using all this tech we have. Sensors, data, AI making decisions. It's about creating cities that are responsive to their citizens.
It's like the ultimate upgrade for city living. But what are the downsides? Is it too much control?
Well, that's what some people worry about, right? Surveillance, loss of privacy. If everything's monitored, is it freedom or a digital cage?
We need to be careful. Balance is key.
Exactly. Every new technology brings new challenges. We have to figure out how to get the benefits without sacrificing our values.
Okay, last but not least, something that's pretty much impossible to wrap your head around. The singularity.
Yeah, this one is a real mind bender.
The moment when AI becomes smarter than us and then starts making itself even smarter.
At an exponential rate, meaning it keeps getting smarter, faster, and faster.
Whoa, hold on. Isn't that like the end of us? Like in Terminator?
Well, it depends who you ask. Some people think it could be incredibly positive, AI solving all our problems. Others think it's our extinction.
So are we talking robot uprising or something weirder?
It could be a lot of things. Maybe AI merges with our minds, creates some new kind of intelligence. Maybe they just leave us behind. We honestly don't know.
Okay, now I'm really freaked out. Is this even possible? And if it is, what would that world even look like?
That's what scientists, philosophers, everyone's trying to figure out. It makes us question what intelligence even is. What is consciousness? What does it mean to be human?
My brain hurts. We've gone from superhuman AI to the end of humanity. With everything in between, I need a minute to process all this.
It's a lot to take in, for sure. But that's what's so exciting about the future. These technologies are becoming real, and they're going to change every single part of our lives.
It's amazing, but yeah, kind of terrifying too. But at least we're thinking about these things now.
Exactly. Awareness is the first step. We have a responsibility to make sure these technologies are used for good.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back in part 2, we'll dive even deeper into these incredible and sometimes scary technologies. Stay tuned.
Can't wait. So, before we move on, I keep thinking about the singularity.
Yeah, we kind of left that hanging, didn't we? AI getting smarter than us. It's like, whoa!
Right. Like, one big question is control. If they're that smart, how do we make sure they don't, I don't know, go rogue or something?
It's the genie in the bottle problem, right? We got to be careful what we wish for.
Totally. It's not just making AI smart. It's got to be the right kind of smart, beneficial to us.
So it's philosophy and coding, basically.
Yeah, we're getting into deep stuff. Can a machine be ethical? Can we teach it human values? It's not just ones and zeros anymore.
The technology is never really neutral, right? It reflects who made it.
100%. It's a tool, powerful one, so we got to decide the right way to use it. That's on us.
Okay, enough existential dread. Let's talk about how this stuff impacts our actual lives, not just the fate of humanity.
Right, we've got to bring it down to earth a bit. Work is one area that'll be huge yee.
Yeah, everyone's worried about robots taking our jobs.
It's coming, for sure. As AI gets better, a lot of human jobs. They'll be automated.
So what, we're all doomed?
Not exactly. Some jobs go away, sure, but new ones pop up. We got to be flexible.
So learning new skills all the time.
Lifelong learning, yep. The jobs of the future,
Mm.
They're going to be different, more creative, problem solving, that kind of stuff.
So adapt or die, basically.
Basically, yeah. Embrace the change, be ready to learn. That's how you survive in this world.
Okay, but what about society as a whole? Not just work, but relationships, communities.
Mm.
Are we going to become robots too?
That's the million-dollar question. Like, think about VR and AR, the more realistic they get.
Hmm.
We might spend more time in those worlds than the real one.
Hanging out with digital people instead of real ones.
Right. So do our social skills atrophy? Do we forget how to, like, actually be human?
It's a bit of a dystopia, isn't it?
Right.
Like, we invent all this cool stuff and then forget how to actually live.
We got to be careful. Technology should help us be more human, not less, right? Connection matters.
Yeah, tech should serve US, not the other way around. Otherwise, what's the point?
It's all about balance. The future isn't set in stone. It's up to us to shape it.
Okay, on that note, let's get serious about ethics. We've touched on it, but this is big.
Huge. Like, take AI bias. If we're not careful, the AI will inherit all our biases.
So, like, racist robots, that's not good.
Exactly. We got to build AI that's fair, unbiased, and most importantly, transparent. We need to be able to see how it's making decisions.
Otherwise, we're just creating more problems.
Yep. Need clear rules for AI development and people checking up on it to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. No sneaky robots allowed.
Okay, what about privacy? All this data. It's kind of scary.
Absolutely. Privacy is a human right, and we can't just throw that away because of technology. Data protection, encryption, giving people control over their own info. That's essential.
So, like, we can have the cool stuff, but not at the cost of our freedom.
Right. It's a balancing act. The benefits of data are huge, but so are the risks. We have to be thoughtful about this.
It's complicated. But it seems like the key is having these conversations now in your company before it's too late to change things.
100%. The future isn't preordained, it's a choice. What kind of world do we want? We decide that by the actions we take today.
Heavy stuff. Back again for the final part of our deep dive, 10 technologies reshaping tomorrow's world. It's a lot to process.
It is, right? I mean, we've gone from AI that's smarter than us to actually living on Mars.
Yeah, and it's not just that each thing is crazy on its own, it's how fast it's all happening and how they all kind of feed into each other.
Exactly. It's not just isolated advancements. It's this, I don't know, a tidal wave of change bigger than anything we've seen.
Exciting, but yeah, I'm kind of freaked out too, if I'm honest.
I get that. It's huge GE opportunity, but we got to handle it right. You know, these technologies are powerful. We can't just mess around.
So what do we do? Like, if someone's listening and thinking, okay, I'm overwhelmed, what's my move? What advice would you give them?
Honestly, embrace the fact that you're going to be learning your whole life. Like, the skills you need today might be useless tomorrow.
So it's not about, like, mastering one specific thing. It's more about being able to learn anything.
Yep, exactly. Make your mind flexible. That's the best way to future-proof yourself, as cheesy as that sounds. The world's going to keep changing. You got to be ready to change with it.
Okay, but is there anything specific that'll be useful, like knowledge-wise?
Focus on the stuff that's really human, you know? Things AI probably won't be good at for a long time.
Like what?
Critical thinking, being creative, solving tough problems that don't have easy answers, emotional intelligence, how to communicate really well, build relationships, that kind of stuff.
It's like the stuff that makes us human,
Yeah.
right? Machines can crunch numbers, but can they really understand things?
Right, and those human skills, those will be even more valuable as AI takes over the more routine stuff. It's what sets us apart.
So what about careers? If someone's trying to pick a path, any advice in this crazy world?
Don't stress too much about finding the perfect job right now. The jobs of tomorrow, they might not even exist yet.
So should people just wait and see what happens?
No, but instead of chasing some hot job trend, build a solid base of skills you can use anywhere. Transferable skills.
So be a jack of all trades kind of person.
Kind of, yeah. The more versatile you are, the better. And don't be afraid to try stuff. Different jobs, different fields, meet people from all walks of life. You never know what'll click.
Sounds like the theme here is embrace the unknown. Don't be scared of it. Be excited by it.
Exactly. The future's not some fixed thing. It's being built right now. And we all have a hand in it.
All right, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. 10 technologies reshaping tomorrow's world. Honestly, I'm both pumped up and a little bit scared.
I feel that. It's an amazing time to be alive. We're witnessing stuff that'll change history. But yeah, it's a lot of responsibility too.
To everyone listening, thanks for coming along on this ride. We hope this got you thinking, got you curious about what's coming next. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep shaping the future you want to see.
The future's not something that happens to us. It's something we make together.